and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I almost landed up with the timer, by the way. I put an 8-minute timer for the break, and there was like a minute left, 5 minutes left. But here we go. We are back. We returned. The round of 16 is wrapping up, and now we're jumping into the quarterfinals. We have our TVP. We have, again, a bit of a grudge match. We were just looking at the match history between these two players. They've played so often in recent weeks and in recent months, and now it's time to see them face off again. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we open up with a proxy. Let's go as we move out with our first, not just one, but 2 SCVs. Percival is going to commit to the proxy 2 racks. He's going to double down, not just 2. Hold up. We have 1 Rax back at home, we have 1 across the map, and we have a 3rd SCV. So we have 3 Racks here instead. Okay, you have my attention. Gas is being taken back at home, but Percival, he's going to commit that much harder here. We're going to double down. Now, when it comes to the history of these two, again, we were going through it. Shameless, he does have the most recent kind of winning record and win streak, and I would give the edge to Shameless. But if you're looking at those scores, it was very back and forth, right? Like Percival, he was always taking maps, making it close, going to the ace match, and of course, it was Percival who had a bigger and longer win streak before that as well. So it's going to be quite intense between the two of them. It is 3 racks, a Reaper, 2 proxied, 1 back at home. We commit because of the setup back at home. It means that he can wall up and wall off with the depot and make sure that Shameless sees nothing with a probe scout. Oh, he checks though, Shameless. He did go for the probe scout. He came back home. He checks the 3rd base location, and Shameless, he's aware of what's going on. He has an idea, he has the information, but what about the execution? Can he hold? Can he defend? The pressure is on Shameless, but at least he knows what's coming his way. We have a shield battery in the low ground, shield battery in the main. So far, so good. Ooh, delayed. Delayed shield battery. You could see that because of the mining, the pros were getting in the way. They were delaying the placement of the building. Every second counts. Reapers are coming. Reapers are coming. That shield battery is going to be seconds later than it should have been. First Reaper dips in. First shield battery is now done. We have our first battery. More Reapers are amassing. Are building up. Okay, we're to 5, soon to be 7. That's a lot of Reapers. Shameless up to 3 Stalkers. His shield batteries are now complete. And he does get 1. Yeah, 1 Reaper goes down. Nice target firing. Gets 1, gets 2. Ooh, and that is a brutal start for Percival. Losing 2 Reapers already. He accepts defeat. He throws down the factory. He has now accepted that he will not kill Shameless. He will not kill him, not with this first wave. He's trying to transition already. A very rough start here for Percival. Looking for another way in. Rotating in towards the main. Head of the mineral line. He can one-shot. Gets 1 probe. Oh, will is another Reaper. Okay, not worth it for Percival. Bearing in mind, just now starts his own CC. Remember, this entire time, Shameless is on 2 bases. He is miles ahead. A 2 base economy for the Protoss. Now taking up into Blink. Twilight Council is done. Blink is on the way. And Percival, he is miles behind. Now, there's still a chance. I will say there is potential for these Reapers to get into a mineral line, right? They could try to outposition Shameless, lure him into a false sense of security, and then get into the natural, get into the main base. There is still potential at least, but it's not going to make it easy, though. It's not easy to get in. Yeah, Shameless in position. He had Priest with his army. He has Stalkers in the main base and Stalkers here at the natural. He's ready. And Shameless is scouting. Crucial here, he needs to find out, is this going to be a 1 base all-in, or is Percival expanding? We can see he's expanding, and Shameless is about to confirm that as well. Yep, hallucination goes in, confirms the follow-up. So now Shameless, he can expand. Upon seeing, oh, you're expanding, you're making SCVs, you're trying to get into a longer game, that means I know that it's safe to get a third expansion, get a third Nexus. So Shameless has a choice to make. Either he takes a third, and he is, or he could try to just double down and go for an all-in. I would advise against that, as you don't want to be all-inning a player that's already kind of committed themselves. And in the end, Shameless will expand. From here, he can just expand, take up into either Storm or Colossus, pick a splash damage of choice, take gases, and get further ahead. Now, on the one hand, Shameless is maintaining his lead. On the other hand, because Percival is slowly recovering tech-wise and having a little bit more accessible to him, there is potential to go for a drop play, for example, to try to catch your opponent off guard. Time is being given, and as we have more time, there are technically more opportunities to try to have a comeback here. Whether we get a drop into a mineral line, or whether we can maybe even catch the army off guard with tanks. Like, there's still some opportunities, but for the most part, the pressure's on Percival, and if he doesn't find any damage, then he will fall and stay behind. So far, hey, 3 probes. Ooh, 3, 4, 5 probe kills, not bad. Reapers have to get the hell out of here, but hey, 5 probes go down, not bad. Gets some value for his Reapers. Not amazing, but better than nothing. Oh, let's assume there's everything. Oof, suddenly, that was 5 probes to 7 Reapers, not even a one-to-one trade, so that was a little bit rough there for Percival. Initially it was okay, but he did not escape, did not get away. Now Percival, he has lost map control, Stim is in production, and he may just have to pull the boys. Percival has to make a choice. Does he go for a 2-base all-in, or does he try to turtle on 3 bases? That is a 5th tank, Jesus. Okay. We have the answer. We're getting into 5 tanks. With this, we can pull the boys. We can hope to pull the boys. Percival, he moves out. Here we go. Does pull the boys. He goes to the box. Goes to the mass selection. He's moving out. It's all or nothing. It's on Shameless to slow this down. He's got a handful of Marines. One Marine so far. You can see Percival trying to catch the Stalkers. Trying to catch him in range. Jesus. That was close. That was close. Colossus has arrived. There's a Sin Colossus on the way. We have some force fields. And so far, the tanks do siege. Oof. 1 tank fully goes off. Zealous are catching reinforcements. Yeah, Percival, we cannot reinforce his army. Tanks are moving in. Does focus on the Stalkers. Interesting choice here, but there's just so much on the ground. Zealous, they get on top of the tanks, and with that, Shameless, he will hold. GG gets called, and Shameless takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG will play it again. Just a very rough start there for Percival. Unfortunately, he got scouted. He went for a proxy 3 racks, or technically 2 racks proxied, 1 racks back at home, a 3 racks mass Reaper. He was all in, and he failed to get damage done. It was a very rough start. Shameless, he successfully defended. He successfully scouted. More importantly, he saw the proxies. He was able to get his shield batteries up and running. He was able to secure his 2 bases and skyrocket ahead. There were some opportunities for Percival to find some damage for sure, but for the most part, like, there was no easy way out of that game. He was just playing from behind, went for the 2-base all-in, but the numbers were not there. GG. GG well played. With that, we're getting into game 2. Shameless needs 1 more game here to claim the series. Percival has to win here to force the ace match. Let's go. Let's go as we load into Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a much smaller map of the map pool. Is a smaller map, a shorter rush distance by grounds. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran down in the series, and we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Blue Protoss player. The Blue Protoss representing Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Here we go. So getting into game 2. Now the chances of Percival going for a proxy here is much lower, especially after the failed proxy in game 1, but you don't need to proxy to be aggressive. This is a map that is known for all-ins. So why is that? 1, the rush distance by ground is shorter on Ruby Rock. It's one of the shorter maps in the map pool, true, but also because of the third location. It's very accessible third bases here on this map. Why is that? Well, 1, the entrance into the third base is very wide. It's a very wide entrance, which means the aggressing player has their own large wide concave available to them pushing into the expansion. On top of that, we do also have no ramp. There is a ramp here on the top side, but from the main attack path here towards the left, there is no high ground advantage. There is no ramp. We do have some side blockers in the center, so you can slow a push down a little bit. But for the most part, we do see a lot of all-ins here, and we're expecting Percival to all-in. I will see if he does meet those expectations or if he exceeds them and goes for maybe even the mid game. Does he get a third CC? Yeah, it's possible. From the side of Shameless, now that he's up in the series, he does have some wiggle room to be aggressive himself. Like, we could see 4 gate blink, for example, or we could even see Shameless try to hard counter an all-in and go into early charge. We should not see Shameless go Stargate. Like, that would be crazy. A Stargate open on Ruby Rock is just asking to be all-in, and the map favors that kind of play as well, so it would be insanely risky. We'll see. For now, you can see the Percival, he is scouring the southern half of the map before moving out. There's that natural. It was a double gas opener, double gas, faster factory, delayed CC out of Percival. This can lead into reactor Reaper Hellion. This can lead into Woodbine drops. It can lead into early Cyclone, early Banshee play as the starport is in production. Percival pokes in. Yo, he wants that sentry. Does want it and will get it as well. Very nice pickup. Sentry goes down. We're looking in. Sentry goes down. What's important there is that means that Shameless no hallucination scout. True. Oof. Yeah, no sentry, no hallucination scout. Shameless is playing blind. Behind this is going to be a Woodmine drop. So Reaper Hellion is a mine drop. Meanwhile, this makes sense. So Shameless, he has no vision, he has no scouting. Percival knows this. So because Percival knows that he has the advantage of surprise here, there's a higher chance that he goes for an all-in. We already assumed that anyway from the beginning. And we do see blind charge. Early charge at a Shameless, not blink. For those who are curious, this is designed to shut down tank-based all-ins. So tank-based all-ins are going to be shut down by this if that's what Percival's going for. We're now warping another sentry. There's the NG overcharge. There's a hallucination. It's a later scout, but he does get eyes on the 111. No research. No cloak. Not yet. Same time, drop it to the main. Stalker getting called out. Shameless late to react, late to respond, and he will lose one Stalker. Oof. Yeah, one Stalker goes down. Widowmine does burrow. And it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand here. As Percival gets further in. Doesn't waste the mine shot, but does get 3 probes. Oof. Oh, the Hellion. Oh no! The Hellion shots. They line up 13 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. That should not have happened. 17 probes go down. That is game-ending damage. Ay, ay, ay. The probes that were stacked up on the gas guys with the Hellion volleys were brutal as they were just dealing damage to every single probe. And that was a massive fumble. A massive fumble here for Shameless for his defense. That was game-ending damage. And now Percival can freely execute his 2-base all-in. If that's the plan. But Percival, he is very comfortable. Percival, he's ahead. Getting to stim. Building up his tanks. And Shameless has a lot of recovering to do. Oh boy. Shameless to go 3 gate into the expand, so it does have a faster third that will help. This was meant to give Shameless an economic lead, not help him recover economically. And we're just waiting for the move out. For now, we start things over the drop, okay. Stim should be finishing up by the time this gets across the map. Here comes the mass on siege. With this Percival, he can pull the boys. Yeah, we just saw him pan over. Percival, he moves out. Third CC, never mind, he's getting a third CC. Okay, he opts not to pull the boys. Honestly, I want to see him pull them. Like, I feel like this is a really good moment here for him to commit to an all-in. But his army gets scouted. He doesn't really have a lot of buffer for this, so he shouldn't push. Go drop into the main. Drops into the main base. Denies some mining. I started firing. 3 probes. 3 workers, and the game should continue from here. I'm not so certain that Percival actually has enough to break the third. We'll see. No splash damage. Yeah, there's no splash damage, just mainly zealots. And we get spotted. Spotted. Shameless collapsing in. Does catch the army out of position. The tanks are on their own. But reinforcements are on the way. 1 tank goes down. Shameless does get on top of all 3 tanks. Not bad. And this was just a really awkward engage here from Percival. He cut himself off. Percival, he chose to abandon his tanks, and now suddenly Shameless, he can just send it across the map. He can kill it. He can end the game. Yeah, he has to go here and now. He has to go here and now. Shameless is not really set up for a longer game state. Back at home, the boys, they're transferring over. If these Widowmine shots connect, then maybe. Decent connection, okay. Very nice connections. Jesus, that was what, 4 or 5 zealots going down. That could have been it. Shameless. That could have been enough. The mine shots were too good. Shameless being forced back. That was his moment. That was his moment for Shameless. He had to go for it. He had to break Percival. He fails to do so. And Shameless is still behind. He's still behind economically. He's still in a worse position. Shameless trying to pick up whatever he can, but here we go. We have the main army moving out across the map. Shameless has nothing to defend. So Robo goes down, moving in towards the natural. Shameless has to give it to the base trade. And Shameless, he may be able to break through. I just don't think he can ever deal with the main army. Oh my god. That's some crazy friendly fire, by the way. Aye. Those SCVs going down. Zelce flood in. As Shameless, can he break into the main? Can he get in? He can. Stalker shots going off. Going for the Viking. Going for the Marauder. Liberators do siege up. He's going to go for them. He gets 1. Gets 1. Gets 2. Takes on both Liberators. Likewise, at the same time, the main base is also under fire. There is 1 gateway powered. Shameless, he can warp in 1 unit at a time. Let's go. Here comes the Great Migration. Now, when it comes to the main armies and how they will engage with each other, so it's a very zealot-heavy composition here for Shameless. He has 11 zealots and 7 stalkers. At the same time, we have Percival with a more heavy marine marauder composition. There's a recall. Oh, he's crazy. Recall's back home. Boys are being pulled. This is it. It all comes down to this. Shameless, can he pick up those medevacs? Can he pick up the marauders? Ah, not quite. Medevacs are low. Oh, bleeds out a stalker. That should not have happened. There it is. He's warping in that one zealot. Whatever he can get back. As all the probes are going down. Oh no, that does have some miscontrol here. No blink. Yeah, it does not blink away. He'll lose every single stalker. The cells, they're late to the party. They're late to the fight. We needed them earlier. A disjointed attack here from Shameless. GG gets called. And Percival, he will tie the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. Again, Shameless, he definitely had the opportunity here to take the game. As we saw, it was just a lopsided fight towards the end there. He was fighting with half his army. If everything was together, maybe that would have been enough. It was close. On top of that, he was able to catch Percival with his pants down. Percival, he had a very rough engagement initially when he abandoned his tanks and lost 3 tanks almost for free. Very chaotic, very messy. GG, well played. With that, we are now getting into the ace match. It all ends here. It all ends on Winter Madness. Let's go. Let's go. The turns have been untabled. Everything's on the floor. How the tanks have tied. Let's go. Oh, we got some wise words in the chat. True. So we're getting into game 3. Getting into the ace match. And this morning, in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran. Top left-hand corner, Winter Madness. It is Percival. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Let's go. So now we're getting into a much larger map this time, much larger map in the map pool. We'll see if Shameless can clean up and tighten up his early game. If you recall, Shameless lost 17 probes at the start of game number 2. That was game-ending damage. But honestly, the game was closer than it needed to be. Percival, he did fumble the ball when it came to some of his assaults, some of his attacks, which allowed Shameless to actually out-trade and out-maneuver. So Shameless, he was able to recover in that game and make it as close as it was, and again, even towards the end, could have maybe even won it and taken it. But now we find ourselves in game 3. And we'll see what Percival goes for this time, as once again, double gas. Double gas opener. The last couple of games, this has led into Reaper Hellion into Woodermine drop. We'll see how Shameless responds. Meanwhile, when it comes to the next series here, we do see that Solar, he's already waiting in the semifinals, so we're going to be following the winner of this series into Solar, and then following that into the grand finals. That is the plan. Hello. Este Shameless. What's going on? ¿Qué pasó? Shameless is going for the proxy. Now, based on its location, I would assume this is proxy Stargate. I would assume proxy Stargate into proxy Oracle into dealing critical economic damage early on. That is my assumption, but we'll keep an eye on Shameless. Cybercore is done. Show us what you got. There it is, yeah, Stargate. So proxy Stargate, as you mentioned, Stargate into Oracle into economic damage. Typically, a proxy Stargate would be here, a little bit closer to the main base, at the 3rd or linear 4th base location. This is a more standard proxy location as well. Because it's so standard, it is often scouted. So Shamelessly throws down his proxy further back. This will delay his damage and delay the Oracle, but there's a higher chance it goes unscouted. So a bit of a give and take. As we have initial Reaper Hellion, safety Cyclone on the way for the first time this series. That is unfortunate for Shameless. He was hoping that there wouldn't be a Cyclone, as that is going to be some secure anti-air for Percival. Shameless, he needs that Cyclone to be active across the map. Percival, he hasn't seen much. He's unaware. Gets one Cyclone. Oracle moves out. Percival should be dropping. Yeah, there we go. Does pick up, does drop. Nothing at home to defend. SCVs will go down, and we'll see what kind of counter damage we can achieve. So the Oracle is revealed. Percival, he turns around. He just boosted. Remember, he just boosted across. So Percival is racing back home. That's going to be 4. That's going to be up to 5. Yeah, 5 SCV kills. 6 SCVs, but the Oracle will fall. So a little bit greedy towards the end of Shameless. He will lose the Oracle, but he also gets 6 SCVs. At the same time, we get Reaper Hellions in the main base, but no damage is dealt. This time, Shameless is ready. Shameless, he will defend, doesn't lose any workers. Cyclone is racing across the map. Shameless, can he keep up with the defense? Gets a Reaper. Oh, he moves out. Shameless moves out. Cyclone moves in. Cyclone moves in, denies mining. Denies mining, not much more than that. The pressure is still on Percival after all that economic damage done earlier. Is zoned away. Shameless getting his 3rd. Once again, as a reminder, Shameless, he has been playing from a lead, from an economic lead this entire time. It's Percival that's in a rough position. Behind this, stim is almost complete. He does move out. Shameless, he will engage ahead of time. He does get a Marine. That's one. Ooh, we'll lose a Stalker in the process. Better trade for Percival. Blink is off cooldown. It's Marine. Nice blink. The boys have arrived, so 2 base will land out of Percival. It's all or nothing. The boys have been pulled. Shameless, he needs to get more here. He gets another Marine. Charge is not yet complete. Shameless, he has a fully saturated 3rd base, but that is not going to help here. Yeah, he's caught out. He's caught with his pants down. Shameless, too greedy. Saturating his 3rd, delaying his own tech. The all-in has arrived, and Percival, he's just going straight for the kill, straight for the throat. Tank siege up in the natural, and there's nothing to defend. There's just nothing here. And nothing defensively. Percival breaks through. We saw that Shameless, he went for a 3rd base before the Robo, so no Robo, no Immortals. No charge. Now, Shameless can try to surround and warp in on the low ground. But he still bled out too much. Percival picks up, rotates around, the tanks will siege. And with that, Percival, he will be looking to claim the series, the first best of 3 in a very long time. In weeks back. But there we go, the Zealous AML, GG gets called, and Percival, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. There's Shameless. Shameless had a very nice start to the game, dealing critical economic damage. You could make an argument that Shameless forced Percival into the all-in, but in the aftermath, Shameless, he was so greedy. He delayed his robo, he delayed his charge, he delayed his upgrades, he delayed his follow-up in favor of a faster third base and faster economy. He did have the economic advantage, a heavy one, but it didn't matter on the face of a 2-base all-in. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations. Percival, he will claim the series. Did go all the way to the Ace match, but he had an intense back and forth. As you mentioned, in recent weeks, Shameless has had the winning record over Percival, but not this time, not this week, not in PiGosaur Cup. GG. GG, well played. With that, Percival, he'll advance on to the semifinals, and as I mentioned before, we already have our semis waiting. Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves.